CAU family, good to see you. What a joy it is to have you here with us this morning to celebrate one of our great ancestors, Dr. C. Eric Lincoln, arguably one of the greatest theological minds. And we're just grateful to have you here to share in this lectureship. We want to recognize our fifth president, Dr. George T. French Jr., our provost, Dr. Charlene Gilbert, the dean of the illustrious School of Arts and Sciences, who is here with us, Dean Chandra, and to our faculty, our staff, our alums who are here, and especially to our student body. A special welcome to all of our friends and family, and we're graced and honored today to have the son and the daughter of Dr. C. Eric Lincoln. We're going to ask them to stand, Miss Hillary Lincoln and Mr. Les Charles Lincoln. Let's give them a special Clark Atlanta University welcome. Thank you so much. We certainly want to honor the mother, their mother, the mother of the lectureship, Mrs. Lucille Lincoln, who attended every lecture. She passed away the morning after the 40th anniversary celebration. So today we honor her spirit. Clark Atlanta, this Lincoln Lectureship Series is recorded in the United States Congressional Record as the oldest continuing lectureship series honoring a black scholar in religion. In 1983, this lectureship was started by students of Dr. Lincoln who loved and appreciated him for his scholarship and his dedication to their education. In your program, you can read about his numerous accomplishments and the caliber of scholars and ministers who have graced this lectureship. CAU, we are blessed to have had Dr. Lincoln as a member of the Clark College faculty, and now a part of our tremendous ancestral heritage. Just a few housekeeping items as students are still coming in. Please make room. We are taping live. We're taping live to be aired on Clark Atlanta University television. Please silence all electronic devices. Take a minute, silence all electronic devices. Thank you. And please remain seated until the singing of our beloved alma mater, Reign Clark Atlanta. That beautiful song, Our Alma Mater, was written by Dr. C. Eric Lincoln. Our program will commence as follows. We'll have invocation by one of our awesome majors, class of 2026, Chavez Kennedy. The Black National Anthem will be sung by our Philharmonic singers. Then we'll have greetings from our dean and the introduction of our lecturer by psychology major Chanel Farrow, and then a musical presentation again from the Philharmonic Society. It will come in that order. Thank you so much.
Good morning. How are we all doing today? Good morning. My name is Chavez Kennedy, and I'll be leading with our invocation. So please bow your heads in a moment of prayer. Dear God, we just want to say thank you so much for allowing us all to be gathered here, to be in your presence. I pray that you just touch each and every single last person here, those going through things and those who may not be going through things, but I pray that you just touch us, God, and help us to be merciful towards not only each other, but unto each and every single last one of us here. Continue to watch over us and guide us with your protection and your love and your mercy, and all that is good. I pray that you bless us all, for we know the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but God, you come to renew us with your life, with your joy, with your passion, with your goodness, with your grace, with your kindness. And I pray that we all just are willing to receive that in whatever way that may look like. God, just have your way fully in every single way, form an aspect of our lives, and help us to be willing to do what you have called us to do, to be there for one another, to be there for you, and to serve you willingly, and to serve one another boldly and confidently, and to know who we are in you. We give you all the thanks, we give you all the praise, we give you all the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Let every voice and sing, still let the heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise, praise the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
What an inspiration. Thank you. Greetings and good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I think we are full today, Dr. Dunstan. It's exciting to see all of you here. Greetings again, esteemed colleagues, students and guests. On behalf of President French, Provost Gilbert, and the School of Arts and Sciences, I welcome you to the series of C. Eric Lincoln Lectureship Series. The series is chronicled, as Dr. Dunstan said, in the Congressional Record as the oldest continuing lecture series honoring a black scholar in religion. This is very significant, okay? So led by Dr. Philip Dunstan, Chair, Department of Religion and Philosophy, this annual event is one of the highlights here at South Atlanta University. As long as I have been here, I have been participating in the series, Dr. Dunstan, and it's very inspirational. With its rich heritage, CAU recognizes one of its most influential pioneers, Dr. C. Eric Lincoln. The lectureship series is an impactful gathering that inspires students, faculty and staff to uphold the foundation and legacy of CAU. As we move forward to proceed with this event, I want to welcome and thank our special guests from Dr. Lincoln's family in attendance today. Thank you. This year, we are delighted to have one of our own illustrious faculty and colleague, Dr. Kanika. She is an associate professor, Department of Psychology, a remarkable individual who has not only made significant strides in the field of psychology, but is also a true inspiration to many. Dr. Bell, you are a distinguished psychologist, professor and thought leader in the realm of mental health and wellness. If you have not Googled her, then you might want to Google her, okay? But beyond her impressive credentials, Dr. Bell is someone who truly cares about people. Her passion for helping others lead fulfilling lives is evident in every aspect of her work, whether she's in the classroom, at a conference, or working directly with clients. Is anybody here that is in her class? Okay. So you know how dynamic of a lecturer she is, right? She's dynamic, right? You will hear more accolades and accomplishments from scholar Chanel Farrow when she introduces Dr. Bell, so I don't want to take the thunder out of that. But before I leave, please join me in welcoming Dr. Bell. Dr. Bell, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. For those of you that may not know me, my name is Chanel Farrow. I am a senior psychology major at Clark Atlanta University from Cleveland, Ohio. I am in 2 classes of Dr. Bell's, which consist of forensic psychology and Black women's mental health, where I've learned a plethora of information from both classes. And can I just say that they're one of the most enlightening and beautiful classes that I've been to here. I will say that she teaches us not only to love ourselves, to be ourselves, but to put ourselves first. She teaches us that it is okay to say no, and she also puts in us balance and joy, because for some odd reason we seem to strip ourselves from it, whether that be through past traumas or day-to-day life or just a bunch of things that we go through. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you have taught me. Dr. Kanika Bell is a licensed psychologist, associate professor, and joy coach. She is a proud graduate of Spelman College and received her master's and doctorate degree in clinical psychology from Auburn University. Dr. Bell co-owns ATO Psychotherapy and Counseling Services, LLC, which provides clinical and forensic assessment and therapeutic services to individuals, couples, families, and organizations. Her practice serves as an internship and practicum site for undergraduate and graduate students across the Southeast and employs and trains students and graduates of Clark Atlanta University Social Work, Counseling, and Psychology Department. Dr. Bell's expertise is regularly sought after as an expert witness in major cases, on special victims investigation teams, and professional commentator on multiple radio programs. She has appeared as a psychologist on a national and local news programs, including multi-part series on juvenile delinquency on CBS, and documentary films, primetime reality series, including Killer Body, and popular true crime television series, including Fatal Attraction, Crime Door TV, and Evil Twins. As a scholar activist, Dr. Bell positions her research on mental health of African Americans to influence policy. She has presented her work on Black women's identity, as well as her work on perception of criminality in international conferences in Canada, Uganda, and British Virgin Islands. Her edited text, Black Women's Mental Health, is used in racial gender study courses in universities nationwide. Dr. Bell's research on trauma response related to viral videos of police shootings is recognized by state and local police departments and psychology training programs as a critical training data. Dr. Bell is currently researching and developing a therapeutic curriculum on using joy as a therapeutic tool. Her co-owned counseling company, Add Joy, is dedicated to making joy accessible through highly rated podcasts entitled Add Joy. Continuing education workshops and individual coaching sessions, in addition to her professional endeavors, Dr. Bell is well-traveled and will have explored all 7 continents by the summer of 2025. She has incorporated her beliefs in transformative nature of cultural immersion into cross-cultural research and new course on cross-cultural psychology, an international travel study, experiences for Atlanta University Center, students locations such as Liberia, Morocco, Spain, and Italy, and participation in African-centered rites of passage program and campus. Lastly, Dr. Bell's most important role is raising her precariously free 10-year-old daughter named Suri. Dr. Bell, everybody.
justice was denied. Make them hear you. Make them hear you.
And say to those who blame us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles which are more than black or white. And I could not put down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Go out and tell our story to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you. Make them hear you.
And tell
Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Your song can be a sermon or the power of the pen. Teach every child to raise his voice, and then, my brothers, then will justice be demanded by 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you when they hear you.
Thank you so kindly. Chanel, you were trying to make me cry. I was like, no, ma'am. And you have to forgive me because technology is not on my side this morning. That's okay. I still have joy. I'm not letting this technology get me. I also always plan, so I always have backup. There's that part. So today, we are going to be talking about the revolutionary nature of joy. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, joy? I mean, aren't you going to talk about like activism or something like serious and powerful? I'm trying to tell you that joy is serious and powerful. You will believe me by the end of this lecture. Okay. So let's define joy. Joy is not happiness. I said joy is not happiness. Joy is not happiness because happiness is fleeting. Happiness you get for just a second and then you drop back down. Joy is sustained. Joy is all the time. Joy is a consistent state of satisfaction. It is optimal well-being, and it is our right to have it. That's why it's revolutionary. So let's talk a bit about revolution, what revolution is also. Revolution means a dramatic change. Anything that's just kind of regular and the ordinary, that's not revolutionary. Revolutionary means it causes a fundamental shift, right? It takes something from one level to another. And what I'm arguing is that we haven't tried joy yet as a revolutionary tool, right? As a revolutionary tool. If we focus on joy, I am arguing that we not only change mental health, of course, that's my background, so I'm going to talk about mental health a lot. My psychology students are in here, right? We talk about mental health. But I think it will change political spheres. I think it will change how the world operates. It can change how we enact our very personhood if we focus on joy. Now, I'm a licensed psychologist, as Chanel has said, and as you can read in the book, right? And I feel like I have treated almost every diagnosis, mental health diagnosis that exists out here, right? And some years ago, I thought to myself, what is the magic pill? No, I do not mean Prozac or Xanax, right? What is the magic pill that can get people out of these continual cycles of despair, loneliness, and low self-esteem and nervousness? What is something different that we can use? There's nothing revolutionary about telling somebody who is depressed, hey, perk up. It's not revolutionary to tell somebody in a panic attack, you should calm down. Has anybody ever been that person? Been really keyed up and then, I'm losing sleep over things. You should go to sleep. You should get some rest. Thank you. But that's not revolutionary. Revolutionary is giving me an option I haven't tried yet. Let me think of something different to do, right? And I know my psychology, my mental health, practitioner friends might get mad at me about this, but actually there's nothing revolutionary about gathering people together just to air their grievances either. That's not revolutionary. It does help you in the moment. But revolutionary has never been momentary. If you're committed to revolution, in fact, you're not even worried about today. You are focused on tomorrow. What is revolutionary is focused on the future. So I thought it not robbery to come and talk about something revolutionary today. Because C. Eric Lincoln, though we always regard him as a scholar, in the social sciences, he's the scholar, right? He was also an activist. I said what I said. He was an activist. He wasn't commenting on race relations in America. He wasn't just being descriptive about the black church. He was calling for revolution in those spaces. He wanted you to do something with his work. And that's what revolution does. It calls you to do something different than you've done before, right? And sometimes that means getting uncomfortable. And we're going to talk a little bit about why joy makes us uncomfortable. I mean, isn't that terrible? We're going to talk a little bit about that today. I sometimes follow, I say I follow, but I'm not really on social media like that, so I followed him like 1 or 2 times. That's just the truth, right? His name is Dr. Brian Levia. He's an Afro-Latino activist, but he's also like an artist, and also a medical doctor on the side. I was like, okay, get it, Dr. Brian. You do all the things. And he posted something that just has stayed with me over the last few years. He said, outrage can only maintain activism, but for so long. Love, on the other hand. And I thought to myself, what if joy is the revolution itself? What if it is joy that shall not be televised? What if it's joy that cannot be bought and sold? What if it's joy that cannot be stolen from you? What if joy itself is the revolution? So then I started to think about what that meant, that being committed to a consistent state of satisfaction that is undisturbed by your environmental circumstance. Now, if that ain't revolutionary, I don't really know what it is. So what's the utility of joy? How can we use it? Because again, I probably sound like I'm saying inspirational words, but it's not necessarily hitting. Like operationally, how do we use joy? What, is it a thing? How can we use it as a tool? Now follow me now, because I can get out there, but just follow me. What if we use joy as the basis for all of our standards? All of our decisions are made with joy at the front. What if that's what we did? What if we got married, not because she's cute, not because he's the only one who asked. What if we got married because that person's joy matches mine? That person's journey is going to keep me sustained and content. I think my joy will be enhanced by being with this person. Meet me at the altar in your vibrant. What if that was it? What if we had children not because biological clocks were ticking, not because your mama said, hey, when are you going to have kids, not because I'm bored, I guess I have some children today. What if we had children because it brought us joy to bring into a life and then pour into that life for the rest of ours? Now, many of you are not parents yet. Let me tell you that parenting does not end. When people say 18 years, I cackle. You are a parent until you leave earth. You better have a little joy in that before you sign up for it. But what if that's what we did? Students, what if you came to office hours and instead of saying, Dr. Bell, what's the branch of psychology that pays the most money? What if you didn't ask your economics and your mathematics professors, what degree can I go into that is going to be like the easiest to get into the graduate school program? What if that wasn't your motivation? What if you went to your advisor and said, hey, advisor, how can I make my heart's desire lucrative? Because I didn't say be poor. Did you hear that? Okay. That's not what I said. Right? How do I have joy in the thing I've chosen? The number of people I see in my office, they make plenty of money. They hate their job, and the money's not even bringing them joy. They work so hard at the job, they can't spend it. Right? They don't enjoy it. You better focus on joy. Let that be what makes your decisions. That's what I mean by the utility of joy. You know what else I'm thinking about too? What the enemy is afraid of is not your anger. That's really not what they're afraid of. And whatever your enemy is, your spiritual enemy, that girl you don't like, whatever you're talking about, right? They're never moved by your anger. That's not the get back. Petty retorts, revenge, never. That's never a get back. Your joy is a get back. Now, don't get me wrong. We are still going to do the things, all right? We're going to march. We're going to protest. We can have our town hall meetings and be angry. We're going to vote. We're going to vote. We are going to vote people, right? But the real get back is not in the moment. The real get back is, I am so joyous, I'm unmoved by the things you used to thwart me. You can't get me, right? That's the get back. You know what they really hate about us, folks? It's the people that can find joy in anything. Right? My family's from Chicago. All of the shows now are like Chicago hero shows. Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, right? We had good times. I want you to just follow me. Anybody seen Good Times? Not just the old people. The old people, I know we saw Good Times. All right. All right. I'm going to tell you, I used to have a problem with Good Times because I felt like the entire premises of the show was the idea that black people should never shoot for higher because they can't get there. Every episode was like watching a butterfly try to fly out of a jar and like hit the top and just fall back to the bottom. Right? They could never make it out of this housing project, no matter what happened. The daddy would get a promotion, and somehow he couldn't get the job. JJ would be just this close to selling that art, and somehow it never happened. Thelma married a professional athlete. They moved into that same 2-bedroom apartment in Cabrini Green. How did they never make it out? And I really had problems with that song. Temporary layoffs, good times. Easy credit ripoffs, good times. Scratching and surviving, good times. I didn't like that because I felt like we were aiming for survival instead of thriving. We do that too much, right? We're always talking about our survival instead of our thriving, which I think should be our goal. But then I thought for a second in this analyzing joy as I've been doing, right? Florida and James Evans had dates. Even though it was right there at that little kitchen table, she would just put a little flour in a vase and she would cook his favorite meal. They had a flirtatious relationship with one another. Lord, if you want to bless me. Right? But I really thought about that. They celebrated birthdays. Even when JJ and Thelma would kind of play the dozens with one another, that really showed their love for each other. I think they were making joy in their situation. And as much as maybe the point of the show was to show black folks, don't be trying to get out of your circumstance, stay right there. So that doesn't mean that we have to walk away with that lesson. We can walk away with the lesson if we can make joy anywhere. We can make joy anywhere. And that's what I'm arguing that we do. Make joy anywhere. It is revolutionary. Then I started to think even more, again, follow me, I can get out there. What if joy is our entire purpose on earth? What if that's what we're supposed to be doing? We are put on earth to just have joy and spread it. Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay, people are like, well, now, okay, that's awesome, but how does that apply? I'm going to tell you. All right? I've worked in many places, right, in my career. In my office, in my practice, I work with people who are at kind of a new beginning. I like to call it a relaunch, right? You're getting a divorce, that's a relaunch. You're getting married, it's a launch. Having a baby, becoming an empty nester, whatever the issues that are happening. Let's just relaunch you. It's a place of beginnings. But I've also worked in a number of places where people were at their end. I worked in Alabama at a prison where people were on death row. I worked with people on a bone marrow transplant at a couple of hospitals, bone marrow transplant units in Detroit. I worked here at Grady with cancer patients who had terminal diagnoses and they were moving on to hospice. And I really thought about the things they said at the end of their lives. Nobody said, I wish I worked more. Nobody said, I wish I made more money. Nobody says, I wish I had gotten revenge on the people who had angered me. They say, I wish that I had more joy. I wish I had enjoyed my parents while they were still alive. I wish I would have celebrated with my children before they left the house. I wish I would have spent more time with my spouse or my partner. They looked for more joy. So maybe that's what life is about. Meanwhile, when we try to collect people and things, right, and money and things our entire lives, what we're just supposed to collect joy. What if that's what we're supposed to do? What if that's the lesson we're supposed to teach our children? And I'm going to say this to us, we've kind of forgotten about that. What we want to teach our children is how to not get got, how to be paranoid and how to be suspicious of one another. What we've taught our children is about work, 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 work. You're going to watch me do this lawn so you can get out here and mow this lawn. You're going to watch me wash these dishes so you can get out here and wash these dishes. We forgot about teaching our children about how to love themselves after they make mistakes. How to bring joy to a thing that they do. Right? My daughter is here, and she does have to clean her room, make no mistake. Right? But I let her put the music on when she cleans her room so she can add a little joy to it. It doesn't have to be torturous. Right? But we've decided as a people that yes, it does. Right? If it's not really building your character if it has joy attached to it. And I'm arguing that that's not true. I think that's not true. I think joy is absolutely our birthright, and that's what makes it revolutionary. I'm not just a joy coach, I'm a joy advocate. Right? Joy is an act of resistance, if you feel me. It is a thing that cannot be taken from us. It is a thing we should demand. We should have good times. Whether we are scratching or surviving or out here thriving, we should absolutely have good times. We deserve good times. So we are going to have to make it for ourselves. You don't ask anybody for joy, you create it for yourself. Right? What's the point of slaving away at a job and the money nor the job bring you joy? What's the point of a beautiful partner or spouse and they don't bring any joy into the house? Do the things that enhance your joy. You know what I think we've got to get out of? Just as a people, all right? I'm talking to people now. When people ask how you're doing, what do you say? Fine. You know we say that before the question's even asked fully. Hey, how you fine? Sometimes that's not even what they asked. You ever said and it wasn't even the appropriate response? Hey, what do you do? Fine. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Do you know why we say that? We have trained ourselves to deliver fine no matter what state we're in. We just say fine. Fine might mean overworked, undervalued, overstressed, underpaid, over it. We talking about fine. You know why we do that? Because we believe that these are kind of antithetical. You can have joy in the midst of other emotions. When you actually have the backdrop of joy, you can say, I got some distressing news today, but I still have joy. You can be honest about it. You know, I was feeling kind of jealous earlier, just real talk. I still have joy now. But this is where I am with it. Right? Joy allows you to be honest and have the other emotions, because it's not toxic productivity. This is some psychology terms for you if you've never heard that before. This is not the dismissal of negative emotions. This is not a joy facade I'm talking about. I'm talking about actually having it. You know what I imagine? Now, this again, I'm out here. You know what I imagine for my own funeral? A whole celebratory party. Who said that the funeral has to be so sad? Why have we said that? You're not celebrating me if everybody has on all black and looks sad. That means you didn't even know me. There should be an African dance troupe or open bar. Are you celebrating me? There should be performances. I mean, it should be downright crunk. Why don't we add joy to mourning? Why don't we? Why don't we? We've been told not to do it. We've been raised thinking joy is silly. I really want you to think about it. We've been raised thinking that means you're giggly. Right? And I smile all the time. Hear Dr. Bell and her smiling self. Absolutely. I'm glad you know me. Right? But we've been we actually tell black men that smiling too much, it erodes their masculinity. What? Like, really think about that. We tell black women that being peaceful people and being pleasant is a way of getting taken advantage of and abused. We actually talk our young people out of having joy. What? And here's the crazy part about that. That's not us. Right? I'm not just talking about an esoteric concept here. Right? I actually researched this. There's numbers, there's statistics, right? I do the work. I'm not even just talking about fluffy things. And you know why I do it? Because we tried everything else. We've tried anger, we've tried revenge, we've tried hatred. We haven't tried joy. We haven't thought about what it's like to add something instead of just subtracting something. Anybody ever been on a diet? You know why diets don't work? Because it's too much don't. Don't eat that cookie. Don't drink that drink because it has too much sugar in it. You can't have this and you can't have that. All you do is just sit there like, I don't know if I'm supposed to eat a salad or what. I'm sad and I'm hungry and I don't even know what to eat because you don't get told what to do. Add vegetables and water and just mind your business. Your diet will work out fine. If you drink all those glasses of water, really think about it, and have that 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables, you don't have room for a sleeve of Oreos. This is what I'm talking about in joy. So when clients come to me, no longer I'm going to reduce my crying spells. That's very hard to do. Let's just increase the joy in your life and watch the crying spells go away. Let's increase the joy you have about yourself as a person and watch those panic attacks and those anxiety that you have about yourself. Watch those things just fall away. Add the joy. So I'm proposing, and again, I get out there, so just come on with me. I know. You're like, she's got some out there concepts. I do, because I'm joyful. Join me. Right? I'm proposing an African aesthetic of joy. A program of research where we actually scientifically explore that. Why haven't we? We've explored our religious practices. We've explored how we dance, how we dress. We've explored our geography. We've explored our mental health, usually from a deficit model. We explored what we've eaten. We've explored the civil rights movement. We've explored ancient Egypt. We've explored maroon societies. We've explored the Great Migration. We've studied our representation in the media. We've studied those who've studied us. We study how we study. How in the world has nobody thought about scientifically exploring how in the heck are people who endured the Ma'afa, people who endured the Middle Passage, the Long March, the holding pens, the doors of no return, the seasoning, the jettisoning, the attempts to eliminate everything about our culture, and the threats in the New World, the Jim Crow laws, environmental disparities, health disparities, the covert racism, the voter disenfranchisement, the appropriation of our style every time we turn on the television, the stealing of our ideas, the Euro-centered gender roles that have us calling each other sassy and demure on Instagram. How have we endured all of those things and still are the funniest people on earth? You ever think about that? You ever think about that? And it's not because black people are so unserious, right? It's not that. There's a show out there about, there's a documentary on Black Twitter, right? And I think you should watch it. Watch it now with the new lens that I'm giving you, though, right? It really talks about how we find joy in any circumstance. Our humor is not chronic unseriousness. It's how we heal. It's always been who we are. It's how we've maintained. Joy is our aesthetic. Wear it. Wear it. Walking around with a scowl all the time, that's colonization. Shed that. We're a joyful people. We have a natural proclivity towards joy. You see how revolutionary it's getting? You feel it. You feel that. All right? Starting a practice of being a joy consultant, right, and a joy coach, I really realized that dissatisfaction is really what's killing us. And that sounds like a mild term because you really think, well, what's killing us isn't larger emotions. No, that's a huge emotion. It's a huge emotion. When you have lost the joy in a thing, that's why now you can't stand it. Right? Most of us in here who are over 30 are college professors. Let me whisper something to you. We're not here for the check. You know why we like it? Because we have joy in seeing you all. The joy is what keeps us coming in. The joy keeps you out of temptations, to be honest with you. Joy is what keeps you at home when you want to be out. Because you know what a sustained feeling of satisfaction is and you don't want to lose it. You know, when I work with people who think about ending their lives, when I work with the suicidal folks, right? It isn't the hardships, because we all have them. We all have them. I'm looking for, in a room full of people who have battled cancer, who have lost a parent too early, who said goodbye to a friend who was in an accident or gun violence. I'm looking in a room full of people who have had as many hardships as anyone else out there. It ain't hardships that make people feel suicidal. It's that they lost the joy in life. Put the joy back in. They've lost that sight of joy, right? And when I tell suicidal patients, it's not that it'll just be fine. You know how I feel about that word. Because it won't. Just be honest. I don't say to them, it's going to be fine. It's going to all work out tomorrow. I'm just telling them, hey, get to tomorrow and see it. Let's just see. If we enter a story right now, we don't know what the future chapters we're going to bring. Joy might really come in the morning. You got to wake up tomorrow and see. Well, it didn't come today. Well, I guess we got to wake up tomorrow then. We're going to do this one day at a time. Joy is coming. Joy is coming. Because we're going to create it. Because it's our birthright. It's been placed within us. We just have to tap into it. So I just have to get them to stay with me long enough, right, to teach them how to find it. I'm committed now to following where joy leads. I'm asking you all to join me in that, right? I used to pray about trying to just get things. Now I only pray for joy. Don't deliver me the things I'm asking for. You feel what I'm saying? Because sometimes what you've asked for, the blessing is the curse. Amen. Don't deliver me the relationship I'm talking about. I don't know if I make the right choices, right? Don't deliver me the big house. Don't deliver me the money. Deliver me the joy. And however I get to it. But there's an openness, people, that you have to have about that. I'm hoping the Lord doesn't get me out of my bougie ways. I don't want that to happen. But if that's so, if it's going to bring me joy, I will take it. Because that's how committed I am. I want you to join me in that. Join me in a commitment to joy. That is the thing that's going to create the fundamental shift. That is the thing that is going to create the revolutionary change. What's going to be different for Black folk? We're about to show you how joy moves undisturbed. That's what we're going to do differently. And again, we are going to fight. We are going to vote. We are going to march. We are going to protest. We are going to use our voice. And then we're going to smile and we're going to get some rest. Because that is also a revolutionary act. We're going to be tired and we're going to take a nap. You heard what I said. Because we're going to honor the situation that we're in. And we're going to have joy about it. We're going to make mistakes. And we're going to have joy about those mistakes. We're going to ask for forgiveness. And then we are going to move on. We are not going to be stuck in those places. But do you see how we've got to think about these things differently? It's about adding and not subtracting. So the next time you are facing something that seems absolutely insurmountable, it seems like a ridiculous hardship, or you're thinking about, and that's on a micro level, or you're thinking about how we're going to solve larger macro level problems, don't think about what we are going to subtract. Sprinkle a little joy on it. Start a revolution. That's it.
That's the revolutionary impact of joy. Can we give Dr. Kanika Bell another hand? We can all use more joy in our life. Thank you so much. We're going to honor our ancestors by rising on our feet as we sing our alma mater. Our chaplain, Dr. Miles, is going to come and give our benediction. Students, thank you so much for your patience, your attentiveness, faculty, alums, administrators. Thank you so much. We're going to take some photos right after, all of our faculty, all of our alums, all of our students. Our special guests will be joining us for the luncheon in the Thomas Cole Boardroom. And just thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thy noble tricolor now ripples the breeze, bridging the mountains, spanning the seas, calling thy sons and thy daughters so true. Reign Clark, Atlanta, we rally to you. Reign alma mater, our hearts be thy glow. Reign Clark, Atlanta, thou reignest alone. Reign Clark, Atlanta, thou reignest, reignest. Reign Clark, Atlanta, thou reignest alone.
The revolution begins now. Joy comes through each one of us. The revolution begins now. Remain standing. Joy comes through each one of us. The revolution begins now. Joy comes through each one of us. As our sending forth today, I'm going to ask you to repeat after me the following. Joy, I want it. Joy,
I want it.
joy, I need it.
Joy, I need it.
Joy, I claim it.
Joy, I claim it.
Joy, Dr. Bell. And all of us. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Joy, Dr. Bell.
Joy, Dr. Bell,
Is mine.
is mine.
Go in peace and spread that joy in this world that so desperately needs it. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Philemon. Thank you, Chaplain.